G'day scrappers, welcome to the Super Cisco Scrap. So you might have seen from my last video all the Ciscos that I picked up. Nice little units. So I'm going to just scrap out one of every model that I've got, and that should get more interesting as it goes, because I'm starting off with the 4503. So this one's the smallest one that I've got, and I'll get rid of these power supplies which take up most of the weight. And yeah, with these I thought it might have been a Cisco marathon scrap, but there's really not much to them. They're so simple and to scrap out. The only thing that you really need to spend some time on is the backplane board. The rest just, pretty much drop out. So this one, there's a date here, 4th of May 2007. So quite old for a Cisco system. 2007, so what's that, 13 years old? So that's why these are being scrapped out, obviously. Certainly here no one wants this stuff. So there's our first board. It's got a little ram stick here, so that's okay. Not bad. Getting a bit better. Might have to take off a couple of the heat sinks and just have a look. So yeah, but it'll be interesting to see the type of boards as we go along, like the bigger ones and what they kind of look like. It's a bit the sun's sort of coming through my trellis thing there, so it's a bit patchy. But it's quite a beautiful day. So there. All right. I might just get rid of this and turn this around. The only thing left is the backplane board. Okay. So there we have it, the 4500 series. Keep forgetting that these screws are a bit small, and I should look for a smaller driver bit, but I'll just get this off for now and I'll go and look for a driver bit. But yeah, I don't mind using a hand screwdriver sometimes. It's just a different action than what I'm used to, holding the drill all the time. So yeah. Okay. And yeah, this one's just a very small backplane board. I might see if I can find a smaller drill bit. Okay, because I've got so many Ciscos to do today. Once the chassis get bigger, these backplane boards have got like 30 screws, so then it gets a little bit too much to do with a hand screwdriver. But hopefully as they get bigger, the backplane boards start becoming really good. At this stage it's all about gold recovery, And because I've got a lot of scrap come in the last few days, so something's got to give. I need to scrap out at least all these Cisco out and send these boxes at least to the scrap metal yard and start getting onto the hundreds of PCs that I've got at the moment. Okay, so it's about the smallest Cisco backplane board out of one of these things you'd get, but 3 nice sets of gold pins here. So yep, I'll be keeping all this. Nice. Some tantalums and MLCCs scattered around. MLCCs might be a good ones because of being on a Cisco board. They usually use good quality stuff. Okie dokie. I'll just put this back on and we'll have a look at the boards. Alright, so there are 4 boards, and this one looks like the main processing board. Just have a look at one of the chips. Quite a nice sort of beige ceramic silicon BGA. Yep, not my type of gold recovery stuff. And see if I can, oh yeah, they're just those kind of BGAs. It's a little copper heatsink. As you can see, it's just a green fiber BGA with the silicon chip. So for basic gold recovery, not the most spectacular. Almost virtually nothing really. So leave that to the big boys. Got a bit of a ram stick at least. That's probably a good chip there, but I don't want to depopulate it because I want to sell these boards as they are, as scrap boards. Like I said, they're 13 years old, already too old. No one's replacing this sort of stuff, but I might take some of the crystal oscillators at least. There's usually a few on there. Well, I can see 3. All right, that's not bad. And these two are identical. So take off one heatsink. Oh yeah, these are these kind of modules that don't really have much anyway. They're sort of like circuit boards underneath this plate. So, but yeah, not a bad board, but it's more value selling them as scrap boards than depopulating these yourself, you know. We do have these nice Cisco BGAs here, the Broadcom ones. Yeah, quite nice, but I doubt there'd be again a great deal for easy gold recovery on these. Sometimes they can be really good. Sometimes, actually, these ones might be pretty good. Actually, underneath this black mask, there'll be nice gold bonding wires running through. So yeah, these would be pretty good. But obviously, if I take them off these boards, then these boards become a much lower grade, so I'd rather keep them on there. Alright, let's do the next Cisco. Now, obviously I need to take the boards off these steel plates, and because I'm trying to take as much steel as I can to the scrapyard to start getting rid of it, I need to get onto this before I go on to the next ones. So, but at least we get a look at the other side. Hello from the other side. And yeah, just flat packs all around, but some tanties. Does have quite a lot of MLCCs. Might be able to pick off a few, you won't notice them. And there's the board ready for sale. So I'll try and go for a telecom grade, but if I take off a couple of things, I'll just bring it down to server, and that's how it's easy for me to sell. And there we go. So quite a lot of scrap steel. It'd be really nice to be able to leave that scrap steel on the board, but can't do that. Yeah, so I thought I'd just show you the backs of the other two boards. They're both identical, but yeah, that's just what they look like for anyone that's interested. Very big MLCCs, but you know, overall, like I said, there's really nothing much to depopulate for basic gold recovery. This has got to go to the big boys, and they'll process this. And so, yeah, still get good money for these. They're quite heavy, but I probably will take off some of them MLCCs. So I just wanted to some of you might have seen my other video where I showed you the difference between noble metal MLCCs and base metal MLCCs. But even though, so if you run a magnet over it, you know, a hard drive magnet's a very powerful magnet, right? So even if there are slight traces of nickel and stuff, you'll see here, it falls off a hard drive magnet. For it to do that, these are noble metal, so these ones do have good amounts of palladium and silver, whereas the other ones only very little, if any. You're lucky just to get silver on the other ones. So that's all I wanted to show you. So Cisco, high quality, all these MLCCs, very light color ones, these ones, they're all noble metal ones. So this is where we're getting the palladium from. If they're magnetic, like I said, there's a good chance there's no palladium. So if you separate your MLCs like that, magnetic and non-magnetic, but use a magnet from like a speaker or something, one that's not as strong as a hard drive magnet, and that will really show you the differences, what picks up and what doesn't. Okay, so this one is the Catalyst 4006. So a little bit bigger than the last one, and well, at least this one's got six boards in it and 3 little power supplies. The only thing with Cisco is that, you know, they've usually got the plugs, and like these plugs aren't gold recovery, but the other ones with all the pins inside are. But yeah, unfortunately they don't have gold fingers, and they're the ones that I like. But that's them anyway. They weren't that heavy. Hopefully all the weight is in the boards. Well, there's our main processing board. It's got 2 kind of ram sticks on it, and this one's got some nice chunky ICs on it. So we'll have a closer look at all these. That's one. Oh yeah, this one's not too bad, quite nice. It's got nice BGAs there, but again, if we start taking off the BGAs, we're turning this into a different kind of system. But we'll clean this up and have a look at that. Same kind of deal. And almost the same again. It looks like it might have a couple extra BGAs on this one. Yep, definitely got a couple extra BGAs on this. Nice. Wow. Just beautiful. So easy to scrap out. Hey, just pop them out and that's it. No real screws apart from the backplane board. So, and this backplane board, it's obviously a little bit bigger, not too bad. So the 4000 series. This drill works totally different now. Since I used it for stripping wire, the motor just doesn't sound right, and it doesn't sort of lock, it just keeps spinning. So when you turn it off, normally it would just stop, but now it just keeps rolling around. So they're definitely not good for heavy duty copper wire stripping on the stripper that I use. Probably need a better quality one, but they're great for scrapping normally. Good value, and they do last quite a long time. Yeah, Cisco are really good at putting a lot of screws in the backplane boards. Wait till you see the bigger ones, there's screws everywhere. Okay. And there we have it, backplane board. Yeah, not bad. All I do with these, we don't get as much for backplane boards as they do in other countries, so I just, they're basically, really, what is it? To me, it's just a low-grade board. It does have gold pins, but it's nothing really. So all I do is I take off these pins with the air hammer, and then just throw the board out. There's nothing really on it. It's just chunky fiberglass. Alright, let's have a look at all the boards. Okay, 6 nice boards, so that's the main one. Taking them all off the back brackets. Nice, ready to go. This is how I like them. So there's no more work really to do apart from looking at them and seeing what I can take off. Obviously I need to take off the battery. I'll take off the 2 RAMs, take my crystal band, gold band crystal oscillators. But it does have quite a few BGAs along here. And obviously under there, but we've also got the once again, it looks like a white ceramic. Yeah, so these are really beautiful chips, you know, but they're just really very little in gold recovery. The bigger boys might get something better out of them, but not me. And on the back, yeah, quite a lot of tantalums, flat packs, and MLCCs, and hopefully they're all noble metal MLCCs. Not a bad board, this one. Pretty cool. And these ones are, there's a couple of these ones, so there's just 4 BGAs here, you know, albeit they're pretty good ones. The Broadcom flat packs, these obviously are not ICs, they're just the copper coil things. So you know, the size of the board, not a great deal of gold recovery, but we do have, you know, the 4 Broadcoms on the back as well, so you know, they're quite nice, and some nice MLCCs. But yeah, nice. Okay, I was a little bit distracted. There was people screaming from all different angles. So so these boards here, these are the best ones so far. Got 3 of them. Yeah, 6 nice BGAs, Broadcoms on this side, and then here, wow, another 6 nice Broadcom flat packs. Tempted to probably take these Broadcoms and yeah, and then sell it as a server board. So 3 of them. Yep, they're all identical. So I'm glad the majority of the good ones are, or I have the majority of the good ones. These ones aren't bad too. Just missing 2 on each side. 2 Broadcoms, 2 BGAs, but still pretty darn good, I reckon. Free. And obviously the backplane board that we're going to take off all these pins later on. I just stack these backplane boards up till one day I get the air compressor out and the air gun, and then just rip them all off, because these are irresistible, these gold pins for me. They're just the ants pants. Alright, well that's 2 Cisco's down. Let's go and get another model and continue on. Alright, so the last one was the 4006. This one's the 4506. So about the same size, but quite a bit different. So this is what I mean by these gold pins. I mean, they're nice pins, but once I remove these gold pins, I devalue this power supply. It's just like taking the cords off a power supply, and nowadays my buyer doesn't want power supplies without cords, because he's getting much lower price. But yeah, I much prefer when there's gold fingers rather than gold pins. In that case, then I do take them off. I got three. I'm going to have 3 loads of power supplies to take into my buyer, because most of them I'm not going to bother with. Alright, so yeah, I'm pretty sure we've seen this board from the first one, the 4503. So it's, yeah, very much identical to that little one that we first did. And there's one plate here that's covering up a spot where there could have been a board, so we're missing one board. Yeah, so that's quite a heavy one. Yep, these all look like very similar to the 4503. Yep, pretty much identical, but that's okay. There we go, another one done. Alright, so here, this is just the fan module. I don't even bother taking that out, because it's going as scrap anyway. So I'll just get this back plate off, and we'll get the backplane board, and we'll move on to the next. I still got to, after I do each one, obviously I clean up all the backs, so I'll show you the backs of them. But let me just take this off, and yep. Nope. Looks like the same deal here, but still gold recovery, guys. Yay. All right, just put this back together, and I'll clean up the boards and we'll take another look. Okay, so cleaned up all the boards, so that's our backplane. Yeah, very similar to the other one, so don't have to take off. Again, I like these ones because of the noble metal MLCCs, so a really nice fat chunky ones, so we're going to get good palladium recovery from this sort of stuff. Excellent. The battery just went down, but I'm not sure if the sound was going through. I don't think I had the microphone connected. Oh gosh. So anyway, if not, welcome back. It was only when I had to change the battery out I noticed maybe I didn't plug in the microphone last time. So that's another one. These are mostly all identical, but you know, you might not have heard me. What I was pointing at was the MLCCs, which are non-magnetic, so they're the noble metal, palladium and silver. So another one there loaded with them boards, and then this main board that we got out of the first Cisco. So yeah, little RAM. We know that, you know, the white ceramic under that one, silicon top BGAs under them. So for me, better off to just sell them as scrap for gold recovery. Still get good money. I mean, there's decent weight here. There's probably you know, $40 worth of scrap boards here, less, you know, plus the things that I take off. So gold recovery, really awesome. All right, so that was the what was that, the 4506. The next one is the 4506E. So it's very similar but quite different board setup. So we'll check that one out, and we'll keep going with this Cisco scrap. So this one here is the 4506E. So slight variation in model number, but looks quite, some of the boards look quite different in this one. So we'll just check this one out. I mean, as long as it's a slightly different model number. Oh yeah, definitely different. So yeah, a lot of heat sinks going on here, a lot of BGAs under there, the RAM. So obviously it seems like the top one is usually the main processor board, the brains of it, I suppose. Oh yeah, wow. So under these heat sinks are all flat packs, but quite a lot, and really nice gold corner BGAs under all these ones. So very nice. Well, this one's quite heavy. So again, all these pulse things, they're not ICs, so we cancel them out. Not bad, that one. Oh, we're getting quite blank here. Nice Cisco flat packs there, but a lot of this board is quite blank. That. And same here again. Gosh, one gold band crystal oscillator, and yeah, that was a little bit different. So let me just take off the backplane board, or the back, and get the backplane board. Yeah, it's very annoying that the motor keeps spinning after I release it. It just means you got to wait for it to stop before it can go to the next screw. Pretty much the same as the last one. Okay, screw this on, and we'll go and clean up the boards and have a look at them. Okay, so the looks again like the main board, rammy, and what looks like the white ceramics under there, and just various silicon BGAs and a bit of a mix of things. So I'd rather just keep it as is, and But we've got a nice little cluster here of MLCCs and tantalums. Being on the back, you know, we might be able to get away with pinching a few of them, a few gold band crystals, but yep, a lot of flat packs on these, and then some really good BGAs here. Quite a good board. Not much on the back, but still another nice heavy one. Good value for us considering, and once again, chunky MLCCs, noble metal, non-magnetic. They're the ones we want. This one's quite plain, not much there. Just be good to sell it as a server board. Same as that one, very little there. We do have a few bonus little things like that. Tempted to just leave them in, if they stay in. And our standard backplane board. Again, you know, if we got more than low grade for these, you know, might be able to get away throwing this into mid grade, because all there is the gold pins. But I'd rather have the gold pins and just get rid of the board after that. So that wasn't too bad. Next one is a little bit bigger. Okay, well this one's quite a bit bigger, and this is the third biggest one I've got. This is the Catalyst 4510R. Well, it looks great, but the problem is all of these ones are all blanks, right? So all there is just two boards in this whole thing. So amazing that for it to do what it was meant to do, it just needed two slots, and you know what, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 slots blank. Well, still got the two big power supplies. So this one's going to be quick to process. Okay, well, it's got 3 RAM sticks. It does have quite a lot of, look at the BGAs here. I like these sort of like almost oval type of BGAs, and more there. It's quite a good board. Probably does have a white ceramic under there. Probably would be good for gold recovery. When I say that, I mean, you know, depopulating the whole thing, but I'm not sure I'd go that way. And yeah, another board the same with just 2 RAMs. So yeah, not too bad. Good boards, but as you can see, that's the end of it. So not a great deal of value from picking this one up, but hey, it was all part of that whole thing. So let me just get this top off and get to the backplane board. I'd imagine with all these slots, the backplane board is going to be quite a lot bigger here. Oh yeah. That's one huge backplane board. Just sort of do a bit of a readjustment here. So oh wow, this is a very unusual backplane board. Nice pins on this side, but check that out. they're all ram kind of sticks. I've never seen anything like it. All little ram kind of sticks. And on this one, it's got 3 gold band crystal oscillators just on this one stick. This one's screwed down. How's that? They're obviously, you know, I'm not sure what they are. They're probably some kind of ram sticks. So maybe that's why this system could operate with just 2 boards, virtually identical boards. Had these extra things, but that is very unusual. Never seen a backplane board with ram sticks. I might actually keep this as just a really oddball, funny specimen. It actually is a silver plated board. You can see by the stain, you know, that's the tarnish that silver does with silver. It's obviously silver plating. The board is fiberglass. So on the back, nothing much, just some MLCCs, a few tanties. But that is about as strange of a backplane board as I've ever seen. So I'm really kind of glad I got it, because that's quite very different. Right, so here are our main boards, and yeah, as I said, a lot of really nice BGAs. So this is one of those boards that, for those that like to depopulate, it's probably worthwhile depopulating the whole lot for your gold recovery stuff. Just a little daughter card up here. Not a great deal on this, probably just a BGA under this part here, a couple of little ones there, but yeah, not bad. 3 ram type sticks. Well, that's, yeah, they're very different to normal rams, so it's hard to work out what they're really for. Yeah, just the usual. Couple of gold band crystal oscillators on this side, tanties, but yeah, this is quite a good board, good looking board, and 2 of them, so that's good. And yeah, the amazing ram sticks on a backplane board. Never seen anything like this one, and as I said, this is probably one that I might keep, because I've got various random boards that I like to keep, because one day I might stick them all onto a wall in the workshop, just make it look sort of interesting. Alright, so that was that. Now we're getting a little bit bigger now. I'm going to have to see how I'm going to get it up on the bench. Got 2 more bigger ones, and then 1 giant one that I'm probably going to have to do on the ground, because that's just too big to pick up. Okay, well now we're getting into the real serious size Cisco's. This one here is the DS69509 MDS 9500 series. Wow. Now these are starting to get a bit heavy, and I had to get someone from around up the road, a couple of doors down, to help me put this on the table. And I got 1 more of this size, but a different model, and then the super big one that I'll do on the ground. Massive power supply units here. So these are a next step up altogether from all the other ones I've done. And the first little ones that I had, the 4503s, I've still got another 6 of them, and then I've got doubles of various things. I've got 2 of these particular ones, so quite a few doubles. So let's start getting out these boards. And what's interesting on these is these 3 top ones, or even these 2, but you can see all these little things. I'm not sure what they're called, but they're all individual little things, and each one has got tiny little gold fingers, you can see there. So usually when I get kind of like Cisco boards, and there'll be like 4 of them in the board, and then I pick off these gold fingers. But I'll see how I feel. I'm going to leave all these boards aside to have a look at and see which ones I'm going to depopulate and not later on anyway. So I might end up taking all of these out, breaking off that little bit of gold finger, and then just putting this back in. Still got a little bit of a circuit board in there, or I might just end up just leaving them. Depends how I feel. So we'll work from the top, I guess. Okay, so now we're getting quite heavy duty here. Yeah, just I probably will pop off some of these heat sinks just to look at the difference on these kind of boards. But that's, yeah, huge. Gold flashed. Got really good weight to it. Probably not a great deal for gold recovery, but, well, for me anyway. Same board here. Oh, they're so heavy. Another one. All right, this one looks different. Okay, got 2 of these. All right, so this one's got a couple of normal size ram sticks on there, and this looks more like the processor type board. I'm going to be interested to see what's underneath this big heatsink. Another one here. It must be a CPU kind of thing there. Really big VGA here. Interesting. Another identical. 2 ram sticks again. Massive. I like this look. It's got little palm trees and a little island, Maui. So maybe they call the boards a Maui board, or I doubt they would have been made in Maui. But yeah, interesting. Cisco got various things like that where they put pictures up on boards, call them different things. Wow, now these ones. Oh my gosh. Okay, they're pretty super heavy duty, these ones. Heat sinks everywhere. Daughter card. Probably there's a tiny little ram stick here. That's interesting. But geez, this one will be really good value either way. Just saying it. See, there's different pictures again, and this one's called Twin Peaks. It's got these things on there. Twin Peaks. And another Twin Peaks. And again, it doesn't have as many, but it's still got these little slot things in there. So, quite amazing. Yeah, wow. Twin Peaks. Certainly expensive in their time. And I'm just looking into the backplane board there. It's not like the other one where it had a whole heap of ram sticks, but it does have a lot of gold pins on that. So I definitely want to get that. And then we're going to be done with this one. So no matter how big and awesome they are, the scrap outs are all pretty much the same. It's very straightforward, very quick, except for the back. When you want that backplane board, you got there's probably going to be 50 screws all up here. But you won't have to watch me do every screw. I'll just skip forward. Nice. Well, it does have a couple of daughter cards on this board, and it's quite a big one. So, just bear with me. Also got to take off these daughter cards, because the risers are screwed into the back. Couple of nice little riser cards, gold band crystal oscillators, standard crystal oscillator, not bad, just little mid-grade boards. Just aluminium. Couple more cheeky screws underneath. And there we have it. Oh, okie dokie. So yeah, certainly does have a lot of gold pins there, and you know, not as fancy as the last one with all the ram sticks. Some more gold pins here. It still had those two daughter cards, and the other side. So there we go. Alrighty. I'll just clean all this up, get rid of the box, and we'll have a look at the boards and how they look on the other side too. Right, so aside from our nice big backplane board, here the board's cleaned up, ready to go. The back of this one, it's does have a lot of small MLCCs all around. Bit like around all the CPU kind chips, or they're not CPUs, obviously, all of them, and some tantalums, but yeah, capacitors all over there, and not a bad board. I mean, nothing overly spectacular. I might just pop off a couple heat sinks just to have a look at. Yeah, see, because this gold recovery wise, this BGA isn't too bad because it's not a silicon top. It's actually a black plastic cover over the main die. So yeah, it'll probably be good ones, but a little bit, you know, oddball for me. And then these heatsink top BGAs. So yeah, still not bad. Really super heavy. Obviously, all these little things that I showed you, all adding a lot of weight to this, but yeah, I'll just see whether I can be bothered breaking off all those tiny little gold fingers. They're not the best gold fingers, I mean, but they still are what they are, and so just depends on how I feel, because I'm going to have to stack all these boards up for another day to process. Yeah, that's the identical board. Yeah, in case you're wondering, all those boards are brand new in box. They're put away in the garage for now till I either have someone contact me about them, or I, work out what to do with them. I don't have a great deal of expectations from them because, yeah, they're very specific to a particular need, different configurations, so very hard. So them three boards are identical, but really, really heavy, these ones. And, well, this one of the main boards with the full-size RAM sticks, pretty straightforward, this. Drop, yeah, see, under there, silicon BGA. It will be a good, nice BGA. Will there'll be precious metals in that, but not for my type of recovery when I get there one day. That's more for the bigger refiners. They can get that kind of stuff. And I wanted to look under this big one. Well, that popped off really nice and easy. And yeah, this is a tiny little spider, Santa Cruz A2. Yeah, a really nice Cisco BGA, this one. But obviously, if I took that off, you know, it'd be devaluing the board. And most likely I would try and keep this on the board. The back, same kind of deal. Tanties and MLCCs running around the outskirts. Not an overly heavy board, but still. And there's another one identical. At least we get a couple of RAM sticks from it. They're, what are they? 512 megabytes. So, as you can imagine, nowhere near what today's kind of server would expect. And then these ones are also super heavy, mostly probably because so many heat sinks. And I took the daughter cards off, which had to come off obviously to get the board out. Yeah, tiny little RAM stick here. Other side, it's just mostly blank. But underneath there, once again, I can see a heatsink top BGA on top of this heatsink, underneath this heatsink. So I'll just keep this as it is and just take out the RAM. But the board itself, wow. And so there's two of these as well. Yeah, nice weight. And for educational sake, we'll pop off one of the heat sinks, or interest factor, not so much educational. Okay, and that's just a little bit of foil around there, and that's you can see that the board itself would have been completely flashed, and then they put this green mask on. And so obviously this chip is mounted on a bit of flashing. Yeah, a good quality BGA with a heatsink on top. And this other style here, so these other two will be pretty much the same. This one might be a bit different. Just a different heat sink, but it's the same, exactly the same chip. So there you go. And the central ones, yeah, that's quite a nice, it's almost like a ceramic top. It's quite a nice chip, this. These ones are very good. Be interesting. Quite nice, that. Underneath, really nothing. There are black tantalum capacitors, very, very tiny little MLCCs, so I don't really bother with them. But I, try and skim a few off and just see if they're magnetic. If they're not magnetic, then it's still worth pulling them off, because palladium is worth more than gold these days. But yeah, really nice, high quality, first class BGA chips. As well, so very heavy board, and mind you, this one doesn't even have all these plugs in there. So if this was full of them plugs as well, it would be even, another $6 or $7 worth there. And that's just an identical board with identical daughter card. Really good. That was yeah. That's fantastic. The weight in all this board, just scrap value alone is, probably over $100. But obviously we're going to look for gold recovery bits. Some we might depopulate completely, like this one here. This might be a candidate for complete depopulation. Take off all the BGAs, everything. It might be worthwhile. I'll decide that when time comes. So there's another one that's the same size but it's a different model, and the boards look completely different anyway. So that's going to be the next one, and then one more to go, which is the super giant one, and that'll be the end of it. So here's another one of the same size as the previous, but this one's the WS C6500E, and even though it's the same size, it's a lot heavier than the other one, so it'll be interesting to see just what makes this one so much heavier. Power supply units are the same size, same weight, so obviously the chassis is pretty much exactly the same, so it must be some of the boards in there. Okay, let's do this. Oh, okay, I see straight away why it's going to be heavier. It's a double board, double banger. Beautiful. That's what we're after. Finally get to almost the last one till we start getting double Cisco boards. But yeah, that's beautiful, really good. So hopefully there's more, but I look forward to opening all them up, having a look. Oh yeah, so it's another double banger, exactly the same deal. Okay, we've got a single, but a really nice single. Got a little daughter card here, BGAs. Yeah, that's a quite good one. Another double. 2 levels, 2 cards on the top. This one's got the Rams. This one's actually quite a high grade card there. They're all good. More RAM on that one. Geez, that'll be interesting too. Wow. I think I've got a couple more of the other ones that I did. I'm not sure if I've got one more of these. I hope so. Another one, just like the previous. Awesome. So, most of them are double bangers. This one's a single one. Oh yeah, another one of them. Still, good looking board. Wow. This one's jammed in. Another single. Not a bad one. This is why I love my Cisco stuff. Look at that one. Same one, yep. So I've got 3 of these, it looks like. And this one I've already done one of. So I've got a couple of them. Wow. How many is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9 cards. Well, that makes a big difference to the weight. Yeah, I was wondering. Exactly the same size. I thought, hang on a minute, I can't get this up on the bench. You know, I had to remove the power supplies first and a few things to get it up and then put everything back in. So we've got the backplane board. It's just all the gold pins. So I'll do that. And I can get rid of this one as well. But yeah, I said there was only one server left, the really giant one, but there's also one of the Cisco Nexus that I haven't done, the flat long ones. I've never done a Cisco Nexus. It's the earlier model, so that might be interesting to finish off the video off as well. Okay. All right. Well. Okay. I've got a few little daughter cards, 4 of them, and a little capacitor board. Oh, yep, similar to the other daughter cards. Good stuff. Alright, so this is actually copper, tin plated copper, and it's quite a decent weight here. It's just got this plastic coating that I'll see if I can try and get off, but yeah, I've cut through, and it's definitely copper, so that's a bonus. And a lot of screws and even some nuts on this side. This one, yep, this one is also copper, because it's too heavy to be anything else. You just got to cut through and look for, so it's like a painted, yep, she's definitely copper. It's like a tin or a nickel plated copper. Wow, so there you go. Yeah, and probably about 4.5 pounds all up. Just under a couple of kilos. Depends what school you come from. Okay, so I just got risers, all these risers to take off, and we're almost there. So, well, on this side, quite generous with the tantalum capacitors. Yeah, both sides here. Okay, oh, gosh, it's heavy. Yeah, a lot of pins, a lot of, you know, even these little sockets of pins here. But you know, it's those pins where there are pins, then a plate, pins, plate, pins, plate. It just goes like that. It, yeah, another good one for the gold recovery bucket. Lovely. Just get through, start looking into these boards. So we ended up getting a very nice collection of boards here. Obviously we've got the backplane board. It's nice and big. So here we go. I've taken off the backs of most of them except for the double ones, because I just wanted to have a look at the tops. So yeah, take one of these heat sinks off. Okay, so yeah, they're all the same. They're all got the copper top BGAs, but you know, some of these can be pretty good still, and because it's a Cisco, there's quite a lot of them. And copper top Cisco BGA. Yeah, so yeah, that's not bad on its own, you know. Other side, okay, so quite a bit of tantalums and MLCCs and flat packs as well. So yeah, you know, still a nice high grade board, you know. Well, when I say high grade, it's like a telecom grade, and that's the other one. So both identical. And then there's what is there, 3 of these, and yeah, these are even better. Nice BGAs all around, the good ones. Nice. Daughter card, more BGAs. So the daughter card is just, you know, they'll even get gold out of this kind of stuff here. Got a few flat packs around the other side. Cisco copper top. So even this on its own, it's you know, pretty much telecom grade. You know, if I go to sell it, if I didn't depopulate, I'd put it back on anyway, just so it doesn't look like a blank spot. Just makes it look even better. Other side, not a great deal on this one. Just some flat packs, gold band crystal oscillator, which is bonus for me. But yeah, and these kind of like big modules here, I think they call them power modules or something. This one in particular is quite loaded with tantalum capacitors and stuff, but I generally wouldn't take these off, and it's probably not going to come off easy anyway, so I'd rather just leave it on, because I'll pop the whole thing off the board, then I'll lose weight on that board. So, what, 3 of them. Insane. Beautiful. And then 2 of these ones, which are obviously the double decker boards. So, put one aside, and I might go in and have a look at this one. I might actually zoom a little bit. So I've undone the top board, so we can, all I really want to do is just get into underneath and just see the top of the board underneath. Okay, so yeah, this board, look, it's got those modules again underneath these heat sinks. Nice aluminium extrusion. So there you go, they're those big modules, big chunky things, but underneath there is a looks like a, yeah, might just be a buffer, but yeah, it's mostly MLCCs and tantalums, and you know, so different types of capacitors. This board itself is nothing overly spectacular apart from the MLCCs, which will be a noble metal MLCC. So again, should be, you know, it's pretty much guaranteed noble metal if it's not magnetic, obviously. Well, that one just crumbled up, but that's fine. Get a magnet. So even though it's crumbled, you know, that's fine. You just still throw it in your bucket. But as you can see, most of it, it's not really sticking. It's falling back off. And again, it's this magnet, hard drive magnet, is too powerful for this kind of thing. But it's only sticking a little bit, and if you shake it, they come off. So if they were just base metal, nickel and stuff, that would stick and wouldn't come off this magnet, no way. So that's just one way to show yourself whether they're base metal or noble metal. And we want the noble. All right, so, and the other side, so this one's very basic. Happy to just get rid of this. This wouldn't go as a telecom grade board because there's just not enough good stuff on it. It's more like, it would still go as a server grade board because that's kind of what it is. And that's the underneath. And once again, so it looks like almost identical to the other boards, with all these copper top BGAs, and some good ones there. Does have some really interesting BGAs here, these Cisco ones. Haven't seen this kind before without the plastic around the edges, so they're very nice. And well, underneath it's probably not going to be a great deal, so I won't bother taking it off underneath. And so there was yeah, 2 of them, and now there's 2 of these, and these are the last 2. And well, these look pretty awesome. Got a couple of rams on each one. So again, a telecom grade board as you see it, even though it's got these power modules, and you can see, like, you can see our tantalum and MLCCs inside there, and also on this side you can see little copper transformers. So that's why I don't bother taking these off. Better to leave them on and get full value. Other side, just some few ICs around. So that's one part. And this one, well, it's quite nice. Got some BGAs in the back here. Yeah, so this is the classic kind of board that when a backyard refiner depopulates and goes to process, they're not going to get nowhere near as much as what a large commercial refiner would get by crushing all this board up and processing it, because there's a lot of little intricate little components here, MLCCs all over it, and that'll all be palladium MLCCs, you know, gold pins, you know, this sort of stuff. That's why they grade them as telecom grade, and they pay the most for them, because they're just super awesome. But I'll pop off one, and yeah, one of these really awesome looking white ceramic Cisco chips here, with quite a big copper heatsink on top. But yeah, this again, when it's white ceramic, they look super impressive, but usually I don't see much gold in there. You know, it might be more like platinum. This is, I give this to the big boys, let them get their value, and these BGAs would probably be good for gold recovery, but again, we don't want to reduce the value on these. But quite a nice little daughter card, and that reveals the main board. And yeah, again, without looking what's underneath, I still got the plate on these ones. Still a pretty nice board, lots of tantalums. Not that most people take the tantalums, because probably, you know, you probably don't have anywhere to sell them anyway, but still some nice MLCCs, gold band crystal oscillators, some RAM, all good stuff. Wow, that was interesting. A really nice big arrangement of circuit boards there. What a beautiful scrap that one was. I hope to get more of that kind of Cisco. So now I think I'll do the yeah, I think I'll go and do that really big one. Just got to work out how I'm going to do it, and we'll take it from there. So this is the giant Cisco switch. It's just insane. It's the DSC9513. And it's just so heavy, you can't really move it. It's got quite a lot of boards in there. There is one board missing, so it would have been even heavier. So I don't know if that gives you a better look. MDS 500 series. Sorry, MDS 9500 series. But it's just, that's definitely the biggest one I've ever got, and it's 2 people can't even lift this. We had to use a forklift to lift it up to get it close to my van, and then I just tipped it in. So what I'll do, first I'll just I'll turn it around the other side, and we'll do the back, get the power supplies. Wait till you see the power supplies on this baby. So I'll just put it down, and I'm going to flip it over. As I tipped it over, some of the boards slid out, so it's sort of giving me a nice angle here to work with. So these are the two power supplies. Look how giant they are. I'll probably keep these aside for a while. They might be able to be used for something else, off-grid stuff. I don't want to get rid of these ones. They're just biggest ones I've ever seen. Not sure of the model number, but incredible. And then there's on this side, there's actually two cards here. I think they're called fabric cards. So that's a extra bonus. Didn't expect cards on the back, but let's get rid of these power supplies. Now that, my friends, is a massive power supply. Look at those prongs. They're crazy. And look at the size of the connector plug. It's only 1 inch and a bit long. Smallest one I've ever seen. But there we go, Delta Electronics. Wow. So that's the model number in case anyone's interested. But oh, these are crazy. So I'll most likely never get these kind of power supplies again. The other ones, you get them all the time, the smaller Ciscos, but these are huge. Wow. And I'm sure that takes a bit of weight off. There's also a couple of cards down the bottom here inside, so once we empty everything out and go for the backplane board, I'll see if I can get them. Fabric cards. Okay. This one's heavier too. There's a little island or something. Heavier. Never heard of it. It's probably one of the islands Cisco owns, or you know. But we'll have a look at these. That's a bonus. Fabric card 2. Yep, same deal. Exactly the same. We'll just check out what they look like underneath later on. Wow, and it looks like there's, okay, this is like a fan module. Doesn't really want to come. Ah, it's just fans. Thought it might have been something else. That's alright. So those two fans, obviously the power supplies have got their own fans. So these two would have been just to keep the fabric cards cool. But there are a couple of boards down there we'll get to later. Alright, so might as well take these out. Reduce a bit of weight. So now I can flip it over on this side. It's nice and flat and we can get to the boards. Rightio. So the battery's about to go flat, so before I start pulling all these boards out, the only thing I want to first show you is this fan module here. And it's the whole length of it, and it's quite insane. It's even got beautiful little clips that you pull up. But look at the size of this fan module, will you? It's only flat, it's only like 1.5 inches wide. Look at that. Wow. Hey, I mean that in itself to buy new, you know, would have been worth quite a bit as well. It's a 15 brushless fan motors, you know, quite insane really. I'll keep that out anyway. All right. So we've reduced, because this cabinet is going to be very heavy on its own, so I want to lighten it up as much as I can before I go for the backplane. So let me just change the battery on the camera and we'll get into this. So here we go. It looks like there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 boards in this, and then one missing, so it would have been 13, or modules, or whatever you want to call them. Looks like there could be a couple of double ones as well. Let's hope so. All right. start from the top. All right, so pretty reasonable. Maybe I should go crossways. Yeah, reasonable. So Kawaii. Interesting. Not a bad board. I'm probably not going to show you the backs of them because from what we've seen with all of them, they're all pretty much just got sometimes a couple of chips, mostly tantalums and stuff. Got a little RAM here. Oh yeah, not bad, you know. Oh. Another Coway. So these must be the main kind of boards, the processing boards with the RAM on there. I'm not really sure, but they've always got these little smaller cards, 128 megabyte drives. That's two. And another one, exactly the same. Wow, I wonder why they need three of exactly the same. Oh, I suppose they've got all the ports and stuff. And these two are those ones with the little gold fingers on the end. So when I go and decide whether to depopulate or just clean them up anyway, I'll decide whether I want to take off these gold fingers off these and put them back in, or just leave them as they are. That's three. Oh, this one's heavy. Okay, that's one of those. We've seen one of these in a couple back. Yep, so we've seen underneath these heat sinks, these are identical to the other ones. Still very, very heavy boards. I mean, obviously it's a heavy steel, but still, that's heavy. Insane. And mind you, that's probably why, look at it, it's got every one, not one missing, of those little gold finger slots. That's why. Wow. And another one, a few missing. Oh yeah, that's like the first one. RAM stick, yeah. It's the fourth one of these. Goodness. And again, oh well, I can't complain. Still. Let me guess, another one again? No, this one's heavier. Okay. Oh, this has got two little RAM type sticks there. And another one there. Similar to the other one. It's got a few of those slots, those little modules. What are they? Not really sure, but they're obviously a network connection. You connect each little cable in there. Who knows? Scrappers don't need to know that, or e-waste recyclers. The biggest e-waste recyclers in the world get the biggest stuff, the best stuff, and thousands of tons of the stuff. They don't need to know anything because they're all obligated to scrap everything out, or well, they don't scrap things out. They throw these into big machines and shred them straight up, steel and all, RAM, the whole lot, heat sinks, and then what comes out of it is a mixture of about 16 different metals. Oh, another one with a full complement of little jacks, and that's another one of those. These are the heaviest ones, but still, yeah, they're about as heavy as the other ones, the other server that I did, the double boards. Pretty darn good. And these three look all very much the same. Yep, same deal again. So there's only two different boards in this. Apart from these boards that I got from the back, two of them. But it looks like just, yeah, two different variations of boards. Really happy. This is unbelievable. And how easy it is to scrap, you know. Easier to scrap than a PC, except for the backplane board, which can take quite a while. 2 or 3 different types of screws, quite insane. But yeah, so this backplane board is that whole length, and it's over, you know, what is it? It's at least 2 foot. It's probably a little bit over 2 foot long and 1 foot and a bit wide. So it's a giant backplane board. It might be another one that I'll put aside just in case. You know, I'll probably do a wall of backplane boards and different types of circuit boards, and it might look cool. Otherwise, I'll just take off the pins. So yeah, I've got to do that because I've got to get this chassis. I've got one more spot in the back of the van, and I'm going to the scrapyard tomorrow morning, so this chassis is going to go. Get it out straight away. I'll be really happy. Well, I was able to get it on the bench now, and I finally worked out how to get to the backplane board. Had to undo the screws around the side of the cabinet, right, because there's no way you can get in and unscrew the backplane board. And it's this caddy here where the power supplies go into. The whole thing comes out. How's that? That's unbelievable. The way they've put this together. And there you go. Right. Golly. Well, now we're talking. Now we can start dealing with it. All right. This is this backplane board is called Hard Rock 2. It looks pretty awesome. It's obviously because of the power supplies. It's got some big, giant pins there. I'm not sure. Oh no, they were for those cards. Those, yeah, I was wondering because these tiny little plugs here. That's what the power supply connects into. And look at the size of these pins where those cards connected into. Right, big difference. I mean, you know, this card needed all that, and those giant power supplies only needed something tiny, just something funny. Anyway, so I'm just going to flip it up and undo all those screws, and I'll take this board out, so I won't bore you with that. Oh, and I just got this plate out. This weighs like nearly 2 kilos, so you know, about 4.5 pounds. And apart from these screws here, which are obviously magnetic, the rest is not, and that's nickel tin plated copper. This whole thing, wow. Sorry. Yeah, it's that's unbelievable. That's a really nice chunk of tin copper. It looks like a little bit of brass spaces in there, or maybe not. But yeah, that's pretty darn good. Wow, unbelievable. That's good value there. There's that in scrap value is, you know, worth about, you know, $14. Okay, well I finally got it out, undone all the screws, and yeah, this is it's over 2 foot long, and look at all those pins. I mean, this is super heavy. In say in some buyers in America, they pay really good money for backplane boards, even in Europe. So this, you would get big bucks for it, probably $50 US. And again, on this side, once again, gorgeous pins here. And there we have it. Hard Rock 2. Quite amazing. That's where all the boards that we took out. I think we got 12 boards, 2, 4, 10, 12, yep. There was one missing, so 13. Those boards in the middle there, they took 2 big rows. Amazing. So there we have it. Our giant Cisco backplane board. And all those boards down there to deal with. Got to take off all those back plates. but I probably won't have time because it's starting to get late in the day and I'm starting to get tired. But I will throw this big empty contraption into the scrap steel, and believe it or not, this section here where the power supplies went into, this is actually probably 3 times as heavy as the final chassis. It's just a lot of steel going through it. Awesome. Well, but there you go, guys. Our Cisco scrap, and this is all the boards, all the big ones anyway, some of the smaller ones. And I didn't show you as I was taking out the backplane board. I mentioned there's 2 boards that were in the side. From the other side you can't see. Oh, yeah, they were in here somewhere. Oh, they were in that other big steel module. So they're the other little bonus boards that were from the back, that were kind of in the side, and had to take off this section or one of the plates in order to get these. They're quite pretty boards. Really, this flashing is actually a very high quality gold flashing. So, you know, flashing can rate at different, you know, grades, and this would be about the highest gold flashing that I've seen. Very yellow, very orange, very deep color. Really nice. So under this mask, the whole board would it will be flashed, but you know, that's probably not the way I'm going to go for gold recovery, going as far as removing the green masks off boards and that. I'd rather leave that for other people to bother with. But they do have 2 gold band crystal oscillators on each one, and a nice BGA there. Don't know what's inside, but there you go. Couple of bonus boards. Yeah, so look, I hope that was a bit of fun. It was fun for me. I've still got a lot of Ciscos to go, but at least I did one of each model. So I think I ended up doing what, 8 different ones. And yeah, one of them I've got another 6 of, and then I've got a few multiples. So that was it. And all those boards down there to deal with, and all the boards that I took off there. And yeah, there's still a lot more to come. There's one Cisco, one of the bigger ones there. It looks like it's got 1, maybe two boards missing. I've already taken out the power supplies just to make it a little bit lighter. And I'm just carrying the tripod. At the moment, at the back, you wouldn't believe how many PCs I've got at the moment. They've been coming in left, right, and centre. Still got UPSs to do. There's some of the power supplies from the Cisco. So there's another Cisco module there. There's another 4 down there. Another big one down there. Oh. I'm carrying a big tripod, so this small one, this looks like it's almost empty, but this big one's going to be good. Yeah, as I said, all these smaller ones. There's another one there that still needs to be done, and that's 2 of the Cisco Nexuses that I've probably doing another video. I put one over the back there, but yeah, probably won't have a chance. More power supplies to deal with. I've got this really nice HP net server, old Pentium in there, real old school server. That might be interesting scrap. See what kind of CPU is in there. Hopefully a ceramic CPU, hopefully 2. Yeah, but so there, most of the things in there ready to go to the scrapyard. Boxes, PCs at the front, all kinds of junk. But just to get rid of these big boxes, that it's just reduced my wall quite a lot, and allows me to start. Look at this, you know, just getting on top of things that have come in and scattered around everywhere. You know, a couple of servers just sitting right there, doing nothing at the moment. In the garage, got 2 2 rows of PCs there behind that, and up there, that's all the boxes of Cisco. They're all those Cisco boards from the previous video. They're all undercover, staying safe until yeah, a lot of laptops have come in. These are just scrap laptops. My buyers have already gone through them. They're no good for sale or repurposing. Still got those, or at least 5 of those Dells in amongst the washing. There's a few stacks of PCs there, stacks of PCs here, switches, more servers everywhere. And then here, this mountain has regrown, almost got it down to nothing. Whole stack of servers there, PCs, a lot of PCs to scrap out. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on here at the moment. But I'm glad I got this marathon out the way, because it encouraged me to at least scrap some of the biggest ones, and one of each model. So I'm really happy. Good day work. All right, guys, keep scrapping, have fun, and look out for the next video.